Alright, welcome to another video week, whatever. I don't know what to call this one, but this first match here was a loss. This was a rematch. Initially I'd gone into this... Sorry about that, got a phone call. But yeah, where was I? Initially I got into this one with the intention in mind to have Shez do the majority of the work here, since I was pretty sure she should be able to win the speed check here. So that was the plan, but going into this match, or when I loaded into this match, I realized that there are several things that I overlooked here. One, I did not notice that the Quarren ring was available here, so I didn't notice that, for one. And two, I didn't realize that Medius had the frozen effect built into his remix, I think it is, so that kind of made things weird. So my condition was speed check. I would have won that based on the speed check and been able to take out the save. But since we got hit with the frozen debuff, that would have made the speed check a little bit more challenging, as well as the additional debuffs that we were already being inflicted by, like, there's other debuffs there. I think, what's her face? Yunaka there, and a couple other units are inflicting some debuffs. And then on top of that, the terrain made it even more difficult to actually get up there to hit the units. This was intended to be a turn one attack. We go up with Tana, attack whoever, doesn't really matter, or just, end turn on one of the traps, and then have the rest of the team warp in. But like I said, the Quarren terrain kind of nullifies that, because Yunaka is the only one with pass. And she would not be fast enough to take out this Quarren, unfortunately. So, kind of just ended up surrendering. And that was pretty much that. So this is the next match, the one that we played right after that one. That was a huge fumble on my part. Really did not pay attention to the skills there. Not even just this. I just didn't pay attention. I forgot to pick the right. That was just me not picking the right team. So it is what it is. This was the match after that. Looking at the team composition here, I decided that the best thing to do was to try to tank this with Ike, and then potentially get a KO with Shez on whoever the remaining unit would be. More than likely, it's going to be the saves. The threat range of this team, the defense here is very high, so it would have been difficult for me to, one, get out, and then two, find a safe initiation spot. So I figured, based on the teams that I have for this week, this is probably the best option, since Ike doesn't have a space condition, and I can just put him safely within 3 spaces of Sedith, and it should be fine. We just needed to block off this section here, so that they couldn't get around, which the majority of the opposing units can't. And we also get to see the matchup here between Ike and Sigurd and Camilla. So this was an interesting test. First off, we have the AoE damage here, which I did not account for. I forgot that Breath of Life was something that existed. But as you can see here, it didn't matter to Ike, apparently. And then we have Camilla coming in here, and I was quite worried at this point, because I was like, I didn't plan for the AoE. But then I realized that if Camilla could have actually done damage, she would have came in first. And you can see the reason why she went second there, because it's just nothing but zeros, which is very impressive. And then we heal all the way back up, pretty much. So that was my that was really impressive. My first indication that this Ike is a really, really powerful unit, or knowing it and then seeing it in action. So he just tanked that, no problem here. This was and then I didn't realize that BK would have warped in like that. I was kind of hoping that he would stick around at the back, but then again, forgot to check the skills. So now we're just dependent on Tree Man being the last unit and taking him out with Shez instead. And also, we can deal with Lyn whenever. Ike pretty much back all the way up to full health, which is just insane. And that was very, very impressive. I saw a little bit of action as well from Nephany. Overall, this was a really, well-constructed defense. in terms of having the majority of the bases covered. So you had threat range, you had the AoE damage, and you had the sweep effect. Those are the three things that you typically want to have on your defense, so that you can, essentially get a kill the majority of the time. And then, for people who were tanking as well, they had Tree Man back there to inflict that assigned decoy. So it was a lot of things that were tricky to play into, but as you can see, Ike kind of just stood there and, shrugged it off, and survived pretty much with the help of Sedith, I want to say. I don't know how much. I'm pretty sure if Sedith did something, those numbers would probably have been higher if not for Sedith. But yeah, very impressive performance from Ike, and all that was left was to get the pots here. First time really, well, given him, I've used him before this week, but this is like the first real test, actually sending him out there to do stuff. And overall, it was very impressive. The 3 movement is actually pretty good, but I don't think it's 100% needed. Like for offense, I want to say, I think you can get away with something else in that C slot. The Brutal Tempest isn't the most important thing in the world for his C slot. For offense, I think on defense you can probably keep it, but for offense, I think you probably want something like, I was going to say Breath of Life, but then he doesn't have any space requirements, and then you probably won't get that off unless you have someone within 2 spaces. So what do you really put there,
Let's do
I don't know. I think he can do without the +1 movement. Since he's a tank, he doesn't necessarily need it. But yeah, Shez to close it out after getting the pots, and that was pretty much GG's. Pretty straightforward match. And then we rolled into the next one. And here we go with another attempt here. This one was also, I think I lost this one as well. I forget. Yeah, this was also a loss. Another miscalculation here, or not necessarily a miscalculation. This one, I was depending on Shez to take out BK, and she failed. This wasn't happening, so I think it's probably the flat damage reduction from Ather, the additional flat DR, but Black Knight kind of has a ton of, damage reduction and stuff going for him already, so it could have been something else. I did, attempt a few attacks just to see if I could break it. I think I eventually took out the Lin, which I probably will cut out since it's a waste of time. I was just sitting there swapping around hoping something would happen, but nothing really did. And we ended up having to take a loss here. If Shez was able to take out BK, it would have been a pretty straightforward cleanup attempt, and all that was really left was just to figure out who we would leave as the last unit. I was thinking of leaving the Marth as the last unit, but things did not go as planned for this one. I think it was a major indication how there's a combination of things. It could have been the Erica ring that was taking out Shez, or the debuffs, because she was heavily debuffed, as you can see. Because I don't think it was a lack of damage. I think either the Erica ring, or maybe even a combination of the two, that was just not allowing us to take out this 1 HP Black Knight. Well, technically 28 or something like that.
Give the order.
But, well, 35. But yeah, no one could really get through, and there was really no point in continuing. I did send up Edelgard to take out little bull girl Lin, but yeah, that didn't even work in our favor either. So yeah, that was just a bad play. Probably should have brought a team with a dancer just to be sure. I was thinking of bringing the Boulder team, but I ended up going with this one. So I guess another bad selection on my part, and that was that. So yeah, we keep going. Here we go with another test on Heimdallr. So far, I still haven't figured it out yet. I said I was going to do some more testing with her, but I was tired, and I did not do that. So, well, the plan here was to test it out again. I did make a mistake, so I had to wait until turn 2 to get it off. But we did test it out, and so far I'm still not sure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'll do some more testing, but the the effects that Heimdallr has went off, but it didn't necessarily did not negatively impact my approach in terms of attacking the team. I had enough actions to make it work. That primarily the main thing was getting Tana up there, of course, as usual, and then from there, just try to figure out the rest, which was doable. It was okay, but I didn't learn anything from attacking into the sneer something, future sneer. I didn't, whatever Heimdallr's effect is, I didn't figure it out. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened here. A few more matches to go. I think it's probably a good point to start talking about the banner and the new units and the new book I have not played. I keep skipping it. Another Three Houses banners with units that I don't care about, particularly Lorenz. Ooh, the nerve of IS. But then, to be fair, it doesn't make any sense to put together another Edelgard Claude banner. I guess Claude, seeing as it was his faction, it would have made sense for Claude to make an appearance on this banner, but I guess they didn't want to, because he did do voice lines for this year, so you probably could have. I'm sure they have another one in the tuck that they're just waiting to release.
This is challenging.
And we got. I think I mentioned that Roy's voice lines is an indication that they probably have a Roy alt coming, because this is the first time we've gotten voice lines for Roy in a long time. So they're not recording just one. I'm pretty sure there's another one around the corner at some point, which is why we got so many Lin alts this year, because popular character, voice actors in, just record a bunch. Same could be said for Lucina as well. Use same voice actors available. Don't just pay them a ton for one role, just use them as much as you can when they're in the booth. It just makes the most sense. So yeah, we got a couple of Three Houses units. No one really cares. Plus Lysithea, and she looks fantastic as a damage dealer. The weapon is actually pretty interesting, but it's yet another green tone arcane weapon. I guess I can put it on my Sonya and Lilina, neither of which I'm really using anymore. They're just kind of sitting there. So there's that. Interesting, I got to the last stage of Seer Snare, the game mode, and my god, Diamant was really just T-posing all over me. I could not pass Diamant. So I brought Nurgle. Just a sec. Alright, I'm back. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, I was saying the team was Nurgle. I bought Reagan, the blue Reagan, with the lance, the attuned, is it attuned or aided Reagan? Yeah, brought aided Reagan, Gris, and Nyx. And I got really bad rolls. I got like terrible skills on them. But it was okay all the way until we ran into Diamant, and my god, he was just not dying at all. So I had to redo it like, I think I did it like 4 times. I redid it 4 times trying to get it done, until eventually I just gave up and decided to put some stronger units on the team. I eventually put, actually it was just one unit that I needed to put in there. I ended up putting good unit, Erica, Emblem Erica. That's literally the only change that I made. And she kind of just soloed Diamant, and that was that. That was all that I needed to change. I went through it one more time and got it on the 6th attempt, which, 6 tries is kind of insane, but yeah, it was a good challenge. Also, I didn't really have any other units from the required game mode, so I just brought my favorites or units that I kind of like using, and I was really just hoping that Nyx could have done it, but she just she wasn't able to live the brave hits, so the miracle effect wasn't really helpful, and also she wasn't winning the speed check, so just not good overall. And then also, for some reason, Roy was hitting 4 times, and I just could not understand it. There was nowhere in his kit that gave him the brave effect.
I am grateful.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense to me. Roy was counterattacking 4 times in a row, and then Athos back there was like incredibly tanky. Nyx was able to take him out, but since she was faster than him. But yeah, it was really tough. Even with Nurgle there to steal bonuses, Tiamat was just not dying. So luckily we had Emblem Erica, and she helped out a ton. Yeah, and that was that. Really fun this time around. Really fun. The map design or the map selection was good, and then the units that popped up were all pretty strong. So I enjoyed it thoroughly. I understand why they don't bring it back a lot, because you know they want to ensure that the units that pop up are good and they have right skills and you know stuff like that. I kind of get that. That probably takes some time to put together. I don't know, but it's okay. I like it. And yeah, that's that. Back to the units. So Lysithea looks really strong. I kind of thought she would have the Cav effective damage, but they haven't brought that back on her since her Brave version. So I don't know, maybe when she gets her... Did she win? I don't think she won. I think Edelgard won that year. So maybe we won't see that again, but I was kind of thinking that would be, you know, an option, but it was just an arcane weapon. She hits hard, so that won't change. I'm pretty sure there'll be another green tone in the future and she'll be able to hit even harder with that one, but you know, overall I think she's a good unit. And she's fast, so you know those two things combine well together. Sidetrack, Vanitas. I saw some stuff with her and she looks exactly as strong as I thought she would be. She is looking like a bulkier version of Emblem Corrin, a stronger version of Emblem Corrin. Corrin's whole thing is really a speed check. She wins by being faster, but if you are able to outspeed her, then you can probably get the KO. But Vanitas is just super tanky, and I think that's going to be interesting in terms of her survivability on defense. Alright, so I think this is the last one. So yeah, let's try to wrap up here.
Say the word.
Aside from Lysithea, no one else on that banner really looks interesting. Alphonse is on there, so you know, I was actually hoping we'd be able to use that Alphonse to replace the Alphonse at home, but I guess since this one is kind of geared towards arena, it kind of plays a similar role, but then also he is wind legendary, so there's some conflict there. You know, you're kind of able to always use the Asker trio in arena, so until they give us a replacement for each season, which I'm thinking is probably the plan. I don't think... hopefully we'll get Anna too, because she's kind of the only one that's missing, but it's a certainty that we're going to get a Sharena in the same vein as this Alphonse. Anna, I don't know, maybe we won't get Anna.
Say the word at your command.
Yeah, we're going to need... We want to get to a point where we just don't have to use the Asker trio at all, and yeah, I was really just hoping that we could at some point just swap them out altogether, because we've swapped out pretty much every other unit in the game, and you know, in turn for something stronger. But it doesn't look like they want to do that, because they've had opportunities to do it so far, and we've just gotten different versions or alts instead of like an upgrade to the unit themselves. So I don't know. I guess that's just not on the cards. But yeah, he looks really strong. Kind of similar to his Brave version, but bulkier and with Gallop. So you know, we can use him in Astra season now and not have to worry about getting stalled. And the thing I like most, or the most about all of this, is that Alphonse is free. The best unit on the banner is free. So yeah, I really like the implementation of that. The music, I definitely got to point this out. The music for the new book is fantastic. I love the soundtrack that they've gone with this time. It's really good. Typically, they have great soundtracks for the books, but I think this one is a standout. Like watching the trailer, that was the thing that stood out to me automatically. I was like, "Whoa, this song, this is a banger, banger track," and you know, the visuals, the aesthetics, it all looks really cool. Not too high on the first villain. It kind of looks like Ather. So I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes you get an artist to draw someone and it kind of just, you know, their inspiration accidentally leans them towards drawing something that already exists. And I feel like her face, she just resembles Ather so much. It's kind of like, I wish they would have gone a different direction with how she looks. I don't know. Not a fan. It's not that it's bad. It's just like I kind of feel like I've seen her before, which makes it a bit jarring. Fimbulwitzer, as the name, is kind of like I guess it's adjacent to it's in mythology, so I guess it makes sense. But what, you know? And then Rune, the themes, it looks good. There's some comments I heard about maybe everything will be wrapped up by the end of the year in terms of the whole Ragnarok thing. It will be done by the end of the book 10. I don't know. Given IS's track record, you know, in terms of story writing, I mean, they could be right. Let's see what happens, but I don't think that. I think they will. It's probably going to be a two-parter, or at least a three. It's probably going to be a 3 or a 2-parter. That's what I'm banking on.
We'll see it through.
Changes to Arena. Don't really understand it because I don't really take Arena that seriously. I actually hate the game mode so much. I hate Arena. So I don't know. We'll get Alphonse. I'll get Alphonse and get in there and see if it actually matters, because I don't play really in tier 21, so yeah, it's not that big of a deal for me. And I'm still using Legendary Byleth, both of them, at plus 10. I have no new mythics aside from Ira. But yeah, that's it for this match. We'll talk more in the next video, I guess. More about the new units and where the book is heading, and, you know, stuff like that. GG's.